with the whole, red flag thing against Belgium kicking their ass. That opened up a discussion I'd like to have about that because the U.S. had I think its best finish in the World Cup's history, if not tied or they're up there. So the U.S. has talent, but they will never win a World Cup. Never. And the reason why I say never is because there's two factors. One, our pipeline here is not the best. Why? Because soccer, that's what we call it here, soccer is a very expensive sport. To be able to have your son or yourself join a club team, it's going to cost you multiples of thousands of dollars. Who has that type of money laying around? It's like you want somebody to become the best golfer in the world, and it's an expensive sport. Tennis, it's an expensive sport. Everything that doesn't have a price tag on it, you can be able to have more of the pool of demographics play your sport. So they have to find a way to be able to bridge that gap, to be able to have certain programs that can be able to help kids get to, schools or, whatever it is in regards to what their next sporting development will be. They have to have sponsorship. They have to have people that believe in them, that want to take them out of bad areas and bad surroundings and give them a better life. All of these things are factors into what's going on with U.S. soccer. The other part about that is that Ronald Reagan said a long time ago, you can go to Germany, you can go to Japan, you can go to Switzerland, whatever the hell it is. You will never be German. You will never be Japanese. And you'll never be Swiss. But if anybody from another country comes here, they are an American. And that brings me to my point. Football is a world game. Everybody around the world plays it. Most of the talented players are taken out of one region, and they go ahead and they start playing in another region, which means that a lot of these players have dual citizenship. So which means that you can be able to choose where you want to play depending on whatever. And there used to be a rule where you had to lock in at a certain time and you couldn't switch. Like you had to, if this is what you declared on your paper, this is who you have to play with. Now it's not like that. Now you can be able to have, I believe it's a parent or grandparent that are born in another country. I don't know if they need citizenship or whatever it is, but if they're born there, they're citizens. That you can be able to choose, and now you can be able to be a part of that particular national team. That's America's problem, is that there's so many players that are children of migrants, that those kids were born here, the dreamers, right? They were born here. Or they might have been taken here very young and they're citizens. All they know is here. And let's just pick a scenario is that this kid, and we're talking about just men's soccer because women dominate, but men's soccer, he's one of the best players in the world, probably top two. and joins the U.S. national team, the 17 and under. Then joins, I think it was the 21 league or whatever it is. And every club team around the world wants him. He's that good. Then comes the World Cup. His parents are from Cameroon. They have some French in them because of the colonization. Some Creole, whatever it is. And he says, oh, well, I've always gravitated towards my parents' legacy and lineage and culture. I'm going to play for France. You were born here. So you see what I'm saying is that there's too much variables, too many variables to be able to have the U.S. be dominant in a sport where they might not have control of their own athletes that want to choose to go play somewhere else. We do not have a strong pipeline of talent. That's why we're here. That's why the U.S., as good as they are this go around, they will never crack through because the gap of talent is like it's the Grand Canyon. It's Mount Everest. From the top to the bottom. That's how wide the gap is internationally. So, can they fix this? I don't know if they can fix that part, but they can maybe be able to convince these guys, put in a I don't know what they can do, but you have to find ways to be able to get the best talent. And sometimes the best talent is just not an American. Most of the time. And for you to be able to get somebody like that, it's going to take double the responsibility, honestly. And I don't know if Team USA in soccer has the bandwidth for it. They need to go out there and go get sponsorships. They need to build and grow this game. If they can be able to build and grow the game within the states to make this more competitive, just like how it is with other things. Because think about it. Like, it's so stupid, right? It's such a stupid thing that I'm going to talk about, but we talk about it anyway. Baseball. What is the name of the final series?
World Series.
Right. When the Super Bowl ends, what do we call them?
So, like, world champions.
When somebody wins a championship in basketball, what do we say?
It's world champions.
Right. Yet, the world game doesn't recognize any of that. Any of the stuff that we do, they don't pay attention to. Because they know what the real world game is. They understand it, so they will never accept any bullshit from you outside of that. So they got to figure it out.
Just that the world, like, with just like baseball, basketball, football, like, people, like, I've seen, like, people who don't even, like, accept that as being a world champion.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're not world. Like, I'm like, baseball, how many countries are playing? Like, granted, you're playing in the United States, but there's how many countries in the league. Football's different. There's not many non-Americans playing. Basketball, you have diverse, countries there as well.
Yep.
But it's like, for me, like, you don't have to necessarily be playing for like a certain country. It's like the makeup of the best players of this sport. Like American football is American football. It's not played outside of that really. So, but like, it really is a good point. Like, I didn't know that you can just technically be like have some sort of lineage tied and you could just play for whatever. I feel like that doesn't really make sense to me when it's like a country thing. Like, I feel like you should be kind of that, like, born from that kind. I don't know. to say it, like, because like I know they do that in the World Baseball Classic, where granted, like it's hard to pull like a lot of people like from like European countries, like Italy and stuff. Like there's no Italian born players in baseball. So like that makes some sort of sense, but like since soccer is such a huge sport globally, like it's like okay, like rosters can be filled out. Like why do we have to kind of pull around and let that be offered? Maybe I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's just that I guess they do that because there's so many people out there that associate themselves with a different side of them, right? Like if you grew up around a certain culture and you've embodied that, but you were born here, that's the beauty about being an American, is that you can be able to choose your own path. You can be able to choose what you want to do, right? And that's a good thing. I think even if we were to like change the rules and say, hey, listen, if you suit up for Team America, you're an American. You're not going anywhere. Are you gonna be getting the best talent?
Mm-hmm. So I think I'm thinking more of like the like born and raised like American, like, cause I know like what people with like Hispanic parents who moved here, like you're not necessarily. I feel like you don't really live like you're still like living a very like Hispanic upbringing, if that makes sense. Like it's not that. I don't know. I feel like I'm putting myself in cancel culture. Cancel. Like I'm not trying to sound like that. I'm trying to word it right. But I don't
Land
know.
the
I should
plane.
just shut up. Yeah, I'm not trying to mean it in any way. I just bad at explaining myself. But yeah, I'll just let you continue to talk.
Nah. I mean, like I understand what you mean. It's just like you if you're an American, you feel like, listen, if you're an American, you should be only playing for that thing. But the fact of that being an American means that you're so multicultural and diverse. That's what we are. You know what I mean? So for somebody to be pigeonholed into just being one thing when you're not, it's a little dicey.
I guess I'm thinking like in the Olympic way, like the Olympics, you have to be from that country, correct? Like you have to be born if you want to represent.
I believe the rules are it might be a little similar as well. Like you probably have to have some type of, like I said, it's your grandmother or your grandparents or your parents have to be living there or from there or whatever it is for you to be able to, have an option and be able to switch over. So I don't have an issue with it. But I just that's the US's problem, is that you're not gonna get the best talent in the world. Just not. Because all the best talent in the world are not Americans. And I'm talking about like full blown, just, you know, born and raised here. My family's from down south. We have American culture. We are from here. Are you actually going to get the best of the best talent with people like with that particular background? I'm sure you can be able to find some diamonds in the rough, but it's not often. It's not common.
I feel like the only sport, honestly, that's like that is football. Like
Yeah.
American football, like baseball, like a lot. Like there obviously are like a lot of American players that are great, but it's like also 50-50 with, you know, Hispanic players and
Right.
whatnot, and um, NBA with like European players and all
Yep.
that stuff. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I've been a Team USA football fan for a while. I'm just like so disappointed. Every 4 years, I'm just like, I'm done with them. I'm done with them, and then I'm not. But you just gotta appreciate them because they'll never be able to compete at the highest level because of the lack of resources here. All the rich white kids that are going, or rich black kids that are going into, soccer teams and club teams that cost thousands of dollars, or, buying a basketball goal for them for them to practice, or, a net, or whatever it is you're going to do to be able to try to like get them to get better. It just doesn't matter. It's too much of a wealth gap that's stopping the real talented players that don't have the funds to have a shot. So you need to make the sport less expensive. I don't know how they're going to do that, if they can, but they should.
Every win, every loss, every second got a cost to be the boss. Late nights, pressure heavy, never fold. Championship mindset, heart made of purple and gold.